Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Generation 1099 Show. It's episode 4. We meet every first Monday monthly on this channel at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm in Colorado and I'm the host, so it's Mountain Standard Time. So the panel again is Hugo and Tiffany. Sell quick, ship quick. Now Tiffany is in Dallas,
Yes.
right, Hugo?
Yep.
She's doing some work training.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but we still have Hugo, yes. Julie, Casa, Chic.
Hi.
And Kenneth IBFlippingDaily. And then me, your host, Yvon, Thrifty Rich. Okay, so, we haven't really talked much for a month, right? We've all been so busy. Let's see. Before we start, Julie, Tanya Thrifty Rich sat in for you last month because, well, you were going to be out anyways because you had Tiffany coming. But then, regardless of that, something weird happened. I know this probably goes under my bads and what the F.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go ahead and give us an update. Like, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. On March 29th, which was a Friday, I had a true reseller workers' comp injury. I was, my elevator, I live in an apartment building and my elevator was broken. There's 3 elevators in my building, but the one closest to where my car was broken. So I had a cart, like a beach cart. It's almost like a fold-up stroller filled with my packages. I was heading to my storage unit and I had to take it down 5 little steps and I missed a step and my face flew into the cart and I broke these 2 teeth and I have a big scar on my face and I twisted my ankle. I had to go to the emergency room and luckily I have a good dentist. My teeth were saved, but I'm wearing braces. She says it's not braces, it's a splint while my teeth heal. And then I will have like some cosmetic work done to get them back because they're kind of out of place. But I had to go to the emergency room. I had to go to a dentist and it was bad, but I'm doing a lot better now. And I was grateful that I didn't have to go back to work to a real office while I had stitches in my face.
Right? Reseller perk.
Yeah, but I will tell you that something that resellers don't talk about a lot because it's not sexy and exciting is I have really good health insurance because my husband works for a company and I just got the bills actually and out of pocket already between the dentist and my deductible. I've already paid $1,000, but my bills were almost $10,000 for a tiny little fall. Couple hours in the emergency room, a little plastic surgeon visit just to kind of take the stitches out. And I'm already up to $10,000 in bills, which my insurance is paying most of. So if you're thinking of quitting to resell full time, make sure you can afford to replace whatever health and medical and dental benefits that your job has, because a $10,000 hit for this small little fall, and luckily I was still able to keep earning income this month while I healed. That could be really like almost like a tragedy in a household if I would have like broken my arm or something and not been able to work and had, 10,000 plus medical and dental bills. So,
Yeah, I know that's not fun to hear, but it's the truth. And it's going to, like you said, it's not sexy.
No, insurance is horrible.
Because I'll be forthcoming. I know lots of resellers in the community that do not have health insurance at the same time saying they're a girl boss or whatever. And I'm like, well, no, not exactly. Because when something happens, that could just devastate you. And then another thing is, this isn't going to be popular either. Okay, this isn't going to be popular either, but whatever. If you have to rely on, let's say, government healthcare, let's just be honest, you may not get the exact same level of care. Okay. That's just the truth. It's better than nothing. Yes. But Julie hit the nail on the head on this one. This should be part of your girl boss or boy boss package of things, in your resumes that I have some kind of health insurance too. So.
Well, it's expensive. We pay premium. My husband works for a regular company, and my children and I are, covered under insurance, and we still have to pay money. But if we had to replicate that coverage ourselves for the four of us, it would probably be $2,000 or $3,000 a month. It's really good insurance. And so don't think that if you're paying $500 a month for your corporate insurance benefits, that when you leave your corporation, you're going to be able to replicate those benefits. So, and knock wood, I'm healthy. I don't have any medical issues. And this was a $10,000 medical bill that popped up. Luckily, that's being taken care of. Heaven forbid you get ill, and you want to go see the doctors you want to see and you don't have insurance. It's really can be a sticky situation. So
very sticky.
Okay. On to more fun.
That wasn't fun stuff, but
sorry.
Hey, we need to be real, right? And that's part of being real.
Okay.
This is the Generation 1099 show where we're all like self-employed, and that's just part of being responsible.
No, okay. Into that too. We have we do different jobs. We have a restaurant, training, everything. None of those provide insurance because they're all really part-time, just spread out. So we actually go through and we have Kaiser and we pay that, but we need it because Tiffany has lupus and that requires a lot of attention. Last year or about a year ago, we were at the ER with her we were alternating between urgent care and ER at least once or twice a month. That without insurance would have been a big hit. So, we pay out of pocket for insurance roughly about, I think she's in the chat, so she might know exactly how much we pay about, but it's about $500 or so a month.
I was going to ask if you could give people a ballpark figure.
About $500 a month. And I don't know how, we used a broker to help us find everything. But we use Kaiser but $500 a month hurts. It's more than any of our car payments and insurance, but looking at having the ability to go to the ER whenever we need, I'd rather take that.
Yeah.
And to top it off, she does this infusion once or twice a year that out of pocket is between $20,000 to $30,000, and we still pay a portion of that, but definitely that lump sum.
Yeah.
There you go, $430. So.
Kenneth, do you have anything to add on this topic? You and your wife are self-employed too, right?
We are, and yes, insurance, Lord. I never go to the doctor. It has to be a crisis for me to go see a physician. I've got a friend that's a PA, and thank goodness I give her a call. This finger here, I broke it a month ago. I should have went and got it fixed, but too late now. But I have Kaiser as well, and we pay approximately $1,200 a month.
That's a lot.
For the wife and I and our daughter, who is 16. Now, granted, I'm a bit older than most, so of course insurance increases as your age does.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad for you, your wife, and your child. And this is straight up you guys buying it,
right?
Like again, I'm Kaiser too, but my husband, he pays extra for his wife to be on it. Thank goodness. So, there was something I wanted to add to that. Okay. Anyways, sorry for the tough love, you guys, but it's the truth, right? It's the truth. And because look what happened to Julie. She's just minding her own business, trying to make some money, and then bam, sorry for the steps. Oh, you know what? Can I just say this? Kenneth said something very funny to her before we started. Can he say that again?
Yes, of course he can.
Hilarious. Are you there?
I'm here. Julie, I don't know if the viewers realize it, but she is an attorney, and I'm sure she's got her degree. She made the comment and admitted fault, and I had to confess that was the first time I had ever heard an attorney say they were in the wrong, and I deal with them often, regretfully.
That goes to show you how honest our Miss Julie is, right?
That's why I'm not practicing all the time. That's why I do reselling too.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, thank you for coming. I know we're once a month and sometimes you forget, so I had to spam you for the last couple of days to remind you that it's time again. So thank you for coming, everyone. I see a lot of my friends, a lot of our friends in the chat. I really appreciate it. Tanya, thanks again, Tanya. I see you out there. Thank you for filling in for Julie last month. Everyone loves you too. It was great. So the segment, we'll start out with unique sale of the day, Bolos, right? So we'll still keep it in chronological order. So that's Hugo and Tiffany. Sans Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great time in Dallas. I gave her some good tips of things that she can go check out that are similar to what she has there in LA Fashion District. So I hope she has time to have a little bit of fun and go check it out, at least pick up some wholesale items for herself. But anyways, so any good sales this month that you want to share, Hugo?
Big sales, I mean, in terms of big ticket item, yeah, not too much big tickets, but what we've been selling more frequent is actually, our store does have more clothes, so we're naturally going to sell more clothes, but lately we've had a lot more clothes selling, and we've had, which you would expect, hiking shoes selling right now. So that's something to, if you have them in your debt piles or money piles, at least pick those out earlier. I would recommend people to start putting those out there. The weather's turning, people are starting to travel. Let's see. But Tiffany had picked up this, not fashionable, so she knows it, not me, a Byron Lars Beauty Mark.
That's a good brand.
Yeah, we now know. Picked it up, not completely knowing. She just recognized the brand was sought after, so then she just picked it up before. She couldn't do much more research in the Goodwill. But we were able to sell it fairly quick for about $70. But the big thing is she found out that one of the Jersey, see Tiffany's in the chat, she knows all the good stuff. One of the Jersey wives, one of those people from those shows, I forgot which one, she knows, wore it on the show or something. So we were able to add that to the mix. So, I mean, it's just something to look after. We were talking about looking out for, like, if somebody wore it.
That is so much fun. Yeah. Do you know, is Tiffany still here? If not, tell her. There's a place online. It's called As Seen on TV or something like that, that I've got it bookmarked, but I don't want to get lost, that you can go to, and it'll often tell you, like, you can put something in and it'll often tell you who wore it on what show. Like if you want to sneak it in a side picture of your eBay listing, like not the front one, and, you know, just kind of sneak it in at the bottom. But yeah, that can help boost sales. I've done it a couple of times myself, so that's the best. That is so much fun. Is that all that you have for us, Hugo, today?
Yeah, I mean, in the chat she put in there too. We got the A Solo hiking shoes that did sell for $130. Again, hiking shoes. And between the hiking shoes, you got the main brands, but what we were looking for sometimes I'm trying to remember the name of it. The grip, Vibrant. The toe shoe company.
Vibrant Soles?
Yes. So when you see those, those tend to be something worth looking up. It's because those soles are better quality.
Yeah, they'll do it for different brands. Like it's not just their shoe. Yeah.
Yeah. So because of that, if you know, you might have one brand and one specific style doesn't use that grip, but then same brand, another style has it, that style might be worth more. So it's something to look into.
Exactly. That's a little nuanced tip. That was a good one, Hugo. That's just a little like the nuances of reselling. Definitely. Did you say Tiffany is in the chat?
Yeah, she's the one handling our SellQuick chat.
Oh, hi, Tiffany. I hope you're having a great time in Dallas. I hope it's not too hot there yet. Okay, so Julie.
I had a lot of good sales this month, but nothing that I think is so interesting. But I will tell you that when I was watching the Kentucky Derby yesterday, or was it yesterday or Saturday? Was it Saturday? It was Saturday.
I think, yeah, this weekend.
Whatever, this weekend. Keep an eye out for any of the rich man sports, like the America's Cup yachting, Wimbledon, the Masters golf tournament, some of the other big golf tournaments, Miami Open, the US Open, not necessarily Super Bowl or World Series, but anything from the Kentucky Derby, anything you buy there, your ticket stubs, or anything that swag is given away is always a bolo. I always pick up, a Kentucky Derby. I sold the Kentucky Derby tote bag, and it sells for way more than that quality of tote bag would sell for. So keep an eye out for master shirts and things. I don't know who buys it, but that's kind of a bolo. So
I concur on that. Am I being a know-it-all today? I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm the host, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I'll testify to that too. I live in Colorado Springs, so I have the Air Force Academy here, but I have the Broadmoor Hotel, which is a international hotel. We have important golfing events there, and we have Pikes Peak, which has the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, where people come from all over the world. And so quite often I snag that kind of swag, like you say, and it will sell. Even just a simple golf shirt that still says like a higher end golf course. We'll flip.
Always sells.
Normal $15, $20. So Julie, as usual, we already know Julie knows what she's talking about. Okay. Anything else, or should we hand it to Kenneth? Anything else, Julie?
Nope. Hand it to Kenneth.
Kenneth, you're on. Anything
I had to pull it up on my phone. One day I'll get savvy on screen sharing. I'm still selling toys. One went for 168. Another went for 100.
Okay. I haven't been ghosting everybody. I've been really working on a new project, so I haven't been on Instagram to see what everyone's doing. What toys did you sell for $100 and some?
Oh, this was these were 1985 Kenner Superpowers. That one went for 168 and $7 shipping. I sold a 1985 Kenner Superpowers Dr. Fate, and that brought 101 plus 10 shipping. One thing unique I sold this month, I would have never guessed anyone would pay the price, and that was an XXL Disney Resorts employee jacket. I put that up. I think I flipped it for around $60. I've been having a lot of hats sell as of late. I buy hats for $1 and they flip for 20, and I always charge $6.50 shipping. Comic books. I had a collection of comic books that was, gosh, I guess that was probably 3,000 comics strong, and I went through those, pulled out about 100 that were worth flipping, and they go for around 40 to $60 each, and those are 1991 comics. But I guess that's it for unique flips, truthfully.
Well, you've been rocking the resale. Hey,
no.
Did you post this stuff on your Instagram? Can I go look? Can we see that if I go look later? Because I've been MIA again.
On Instagram, I'm not one to boast about my sales. I'm not one to talk about what I thrifted today. I'm more of an informational kind of guy, little hacks and stuff.
Okay, well then we're gonna have to figure out the screen share. If nothing else,
yeah,
ahead of time, and I'll go find your stuff so I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I want to see that retro toy stuff.
On eBay, I am FlippingDaily 210. My store name is Reading and Leisure. You guys can look at my very few sales anytime you want.
Speaking of looking at souls, I was talking to Lindy this morning. I don't know if she's still in the chat. If you are, hey girl. So, I'm off topic, but let me stick this in before I forget. Okay, so we've switched over to good till canceled, right? Automatically when we relist. That's just it. And I have to figure this out. Maybe you guys can solve it for me like that. Some of them are showing up as just out of stock, which I remember previously was a way some people would use that feature to hide their sold listings if they didn't want competitors to know a hot item that they had. Even if they only had a couple, they would still do that whole trick of, how to hide your solds anyways. So now it seems like some of my listings are automatically doing that. Now, I don't know if it's because I accidentally filled out a quantity of one. I don't know. Does anybody know what I'm talking about yet? Because I went to find my solds so I could do screen shares, and I'm like, where are they? There are like my last 10 solds are like not showing up. And I went and looked at them, logged in, and I'm like, oh, well, they're still in my active just as out of stock. Anyways, that's just something I got to figure out. So that's point number one. And point number two is when you don't go troll somebody thinking that they're lying because they said something sold and you don't see it because something's going on. Okay.
Well, we haven't noticed that. Well, it might be happening. We don't even know because we only check our solds through our own login so we can see it. So we haven't actually tried to go in outside of being logged in to look. So yeah, might be something we should probably do to see if that's happening.
Yeah. So just something's up there. It seems like it's only on the computer and not on the app. So anyways, something's going on. If anybody knows, put it in the comments later for all of us to figure it out, or I'll get back to it once I figure it out after I get all my other stuff done today. Anyways, because I was using #deal to go get my solds so that it wouldn't show the buyers, right? And I'm like, where's my last 10 solds? Like, where are they? It just didn't work. So anyways, let me see if anybody in the chat's even addressed that. Okay. Anyways, we'll deal with that later. Okay. You know what? It's my turn. I'm going to try to screen share. You guys, don't leave us if I mess this up. Okay. We're going to try. Okay. Dang it. Tanya helped me through this last time. Okay. Let's see. Screen share and application window. So I would open these up and I would hit this one. Am I screen sharing?
Not yet.
Am I screen sharing?
Oh, yes, you are here.
Look at that. So do you guys remember I talked about that painting because we were talking about shipping or something? And I said, well, let me list this. So I haven't listed anything on eBay for 3.5 weeks until the other day. So here's another side note. All you got to do is start listing again and listing some cool stuff. And it just started, I've sold ever since then. Anyways, I listed 7 items in a couple of hours. And by the time I woke up, 4 of them had sold and they were hard goods. And this painting was one of them. So I did sell that Frank Frazetta, thank you, Kenneth, copy. It's just an inspired death dealer, which was also used on the cover of Molly Hatchet. I did go back into last month's video and drop that down in the comments for anyone who was interested. But I did sell that, and it went out in a huge box. It didn't weigh much, but I protected it with, the pool noodles and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to stop that one, and I've got one more unique sale. Let me see if I can do another one. Woo, that went pretty smooth.
That was good.
That was good.
Let's see if I can do it again. Hang on. Oh, darn it. Somebody talk while I do this because now I'm like, oh, there, I got it. My computer's not real happy now with all these windows open. Is this one showing? Did I do it? Not yet. Did I do it?
Nope.
Darn it.
Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, there.
Is it there?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. This, oh, it cut off the name. Sorry, it cut off the name because I'm trying to keep the buyers out of it. So I actually let this go for $90. I have had this for a long time because I would not give up on it. I paid like $3.99 years ago at the Goodwill, and I would not give up on it. This is D Squared. This is the twin brothers out of Canada that are very high end. They do women's and men's, but I think they're more known for the men's. I think they go by D Squared 2 now, the two brothers, the twins. This was one of their first pieces when they were just D Squared. This is kind of an older piece. Again, they're from Canada, so hence the, what is it, Canada maple leaf theme. I finally let it go for $90. I just wouldn't come off the price. I knew it was interesting piece. It was rare, and I would rock it. If nothing else, it was all suede. Okay, so D Squared. If you don't know, if you're in clothing, it would be, the current things would be D Squared 2. So you can put that on your little memory banks. Woo, we did that.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Reseller Confessions. So Julie had hers.
I already did mine. That's good enough.
You know, anything like strange happen, or did you make a mistake, or just a weird customer, or whatever?
Well, we actually had two we each did on our own, which is normally I'm the one that does it, but but the other day we were talking about, or later on we realized, being on autopilot when we're doing things. So I do all the shipping, and with Posh I go through and it's a lot easier to ship, just go one at a time, so I don't batch it. It's easy, make sure I don't make mistakes. Boom, done. Well, after I shipped everything, I was thinking I couldn't find this one Lucky Brand shirt. I can't find it. I don't know. And then Tiffany came to help me. I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's Posh. We don't have to ship it tomorrow, so we'll look again tomorrow. So she comes in, and we went through at like past midnight. We went through our whole inventory system, each bin, just in case we accidentally put it in the wrong bin. We went through each bin. Then we did it again. Then the next morning, I was looking through Posh, and when I realized that shirt says out for delivery, because I had actually shipped it. So we were looking like crazy. We were stressing out, worrying, and it was already out.
Oh.
So that was mine. But then I think it was 2 days ago. I got up earlier to go take care of some stuff, and then Tiffany, half awake, saw me get up, and she checked her phone, and we had an offer on Posh. And she was in the middle of trying to counter, and she dozed off. Well, while dozing off, she accepted the offer, which was a low offer. We still made like $7, but we could have made more than that. But it happens. I mean, it's just, again, she was trying to take care of business, half asleep. I apparently did shipping half asleep, and
Those are cute stories, you guys. Well, at least you didn't lose money, right?
exactly.
Okay. So Julie did the whole thing. Oh gosh. Like, when you said that happened, I just really relatively okay, right? It's just a matter of time now. Kenneth, anything unusual, strange?
Oh my.
From anybody else or yourself?
That's how I roll. I sold a Lacoste polo shirt recently, and it was $27. Excellent condition. I had my purchaser, this was his first purchase on eBay. I was so excited for him. He lived another state from me. Once he received the item, he sent me back this 3-word sentence: doesn't fit well. Of course, I responded with, "Oh, I hate to hear that. Please start the refund process and ship it back to me." I always end my messages with, "Thank you for shopping on eBay." And Kenneth, my name. Well, he responded a couple hours later, or she said, she was unfamiliar with the process. So I was doing volunteer work that day. I got out at 2. I immediately sent them a link on how to start the refund process. They sent me back a message, greatly appreciate it. Then later on, probably by 4, I got the return started or the return notice. Then I received a message from this client, and they said, hey, I'm just going to keep the shirt. Would you go ahead and, no, they said, I'm going to keep the shirt and resell it. Would you go ahead and refund me now? And I was like, what? So, you know, I said, what did I tell them? That they really needed to follow the eBay process on the return. Greatly appreciate them shopping on eBay, Kenneth. Well, I received 5 more messages from this individual over the weekend. I didn't respond to any of them. And then this morning, I started looking at them, and they're pretty much the same thing. Do we have a deal? And I'm thinking, do we have a deal? Yes, we do have a deal. You send it to me, and I will refund you. All the dimensions were in the product listing. So finally, I called eBay on it this morning, had them review our messages. And of course, the representative told me, thanks for mentioning eBay and shopping in your letters or messages. Well, anyway, I told them, they said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, I'm blocking this buyer first off, and I really don't care to respond to any more of their messages. And they said, are you sure? And I said, what more can I say? And of course, eBay confirmed that I shouldn't bother with it. By May 9th, they will take it off the return list, and I'm sure this person will never return it. But yeah, crazy customer there.
Well, I've got one too. I think I had that same customer. Okay, I was not as professional. It happens to me now and then. So someone sends me an offer, and I send a counter offer, and apparently she purchased it, like she accepted the offer, and I guess she didn't mean to. I still have no clue what happened. Just like you, Kenneth, I have no clue. But then she sends me a message and says, I did not accept your offer. That's bad business, something like that. And I'm like, okay. So I emailed back. I said, I don't message through eBay only, of course. So I'm like, I don't know what I did wrong. Like, I didn't force you to buy it or anything. You sent an offer. I sent a counter offer. Like, what? And so I just waited, and she sent another message back that said, OMG, I didn't accuse you of anything. Just send me the item. Anyways, I was in the mood. I said, I didn't say nothing to her. In my head, I said, nope. And I canceled the sale. So again, take this advice with a grain of salt, because this was not the most professional. I was just not in the mood, you guys. Just not in the mood for that crap. Like, I felt like it was going to be a problem. It's an item I know is going to sell. It's it's got Andy Warhol, Paul Frank and Andy Warhol collab. I was like, I'm not dealing with you. You're not getting my item. It will be a cold day in Hades before you get this item from me. So I'm not saying that. That was going on in my head. I'm like, I canceled the sale. And then I blocked her. So I'm sorry. Normally I'm good, but catch me on a bad day with your meanness. Like, no, I'm just not going to deal with it. There it is, you guys.
I don't blame you.
With a grain of salt, but
I think it's okay. That's okay to block crazies. Yeah.
There's some days you don't feel like being abused, right?
Well, she didn't really want it. Who needs, yeah.
Like, she didn't even explain herself or say, I'm sorry, or we had a misunderstanding. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, well, this is never going to end well, right? I'm going to sell this to somebody that I can understand how, how the whole thing went down. This is a great item. Anyways. Okay. So unless someone has something to add, we will move on to the next segment, which is, anybody have anything to add?
Well, no, I mean, I was going to say similar to that. We had that buyer that we blocked repeatedly, and somehow was going through behind eBay through all these different forms, and eBay didn't even know how to block them. But thankfully, we officially sold that one item they kept bugging us about. So I'm hoping we don't get any more messages.
I don't know if some people are drunk or I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
I don't know. You can't be. They had to like hack through eBay to talk to us. So maybe they're functional drunks. I don't know.
I just feel like every once in a while, I mean, I pick my moments, but I truly feel like every once in a while, it's okay to like push back a little and stand up for yourself and not be abused. So I just had a bad feeling. It wasn't going well. I didn't think it was going to end well. Okay, so the next segment is reseller tip of the day. Work smarter, not harder. Hugo, do you have any reseller tips for working smarter, not harder?
I mean, it's just a different way of saying the same thing. It's being efficient. I mean, we've gone through a couple of trial and errors of organizing our workflow from our office to our shipping stations to figure out what works best to make things easier. Because once we have a set system, it's a lot easier for us to move through in less time, get more things done, and which is, work smarter, not harder. So, for instance, Tiff batches photos. So we recently finally did our first edited intro video, and you could actually go in that video and you could see Tiff start to finish her batching of photographing clothing. And she's come down to a system where she'll photograph and get everything nice listed, bagged, and then she has bins next to her where she can pull them out and weigh them and do listings in batches. That means that instead of spending a whole day photographing and listing, she spends a couple hours on one day, a couple hours on another day, and then she has items to list all week long without having to spend all day doing it. So, I mean, it's, again, try to figure out a system. In our case, batching works well.
I saw that video. So again, Hugo's saying that video is on their channel, and everyone's links are down below to their social medias. But yeah, I saw that, and she's got the double screen set up, and yeah, it was interesting. Okay, Julie, any kind of new tip for us today?
Well, I don't know if this is really a tip, but this was my tip of the day today, which was about going to eBay Open or PoshFest, because my social media is blowing up about PoshFest, because PoshFest, which is the Poshmark
annual
conference that's like eBay Open. It's they just announced it and started selling tickets yesterday. And
they said
the pre-sale, I think if you're a Posh ambassador, you got early. Supposedly they sold 700 or 800 tickets. They don't tell you how many tickets they have. I don't think eBay Open tells you how many tickets they have either. So I don't know. But my tip of the day was, there's millions of resellers out there that don't go to Posh Sip and whatever, or they don't go to PoshFest, or they don't go to eBay Open, and they have successful reselling businesses. There's millions of resellers that don't have Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. And don't feel bad if, for whatever reason, whether it's financial, if it's time, if it's kids, if it's you just don't want to go to Las Vegas or Arizona, don't feel bad. Those conferences can help you get motivated for your business and help you can meet people that work for the platform you sell on. And there's a lot of great things, but it's not like, oh, you're going to go to PoshFest or eBay Open and have such a leg up on everybody else. So don't feel bad if you can't make it. I am ending up going to eBay Open, and I hope to meet everyone there. But don't feel bad if for whatever reason you're not going, because I don't think those conferences end up being a lot of money if you have to fly there and stay there. And some businesses can't afford it. Make sure your business, if you're going, that your business can afford to send you. You shouldn't go into debt for that. I don't think it's that type of conference where it's going to be like there's some business conferences you can go to that will really help you build your business that would probably be worth spending a lot of money. But these conferences aren't, I don't know. So that's my tip of the day, and maybe not work harder, but that's my tip today.
I loved that. I saw that on your Instagram. I immediately hit the like button. And you know, it's funny because I bought a ticket, right? I already told you this.
I know.
And I changed my mind. I'm like, and I'm not going to get too far into why I changed my mind, because I am still an eBay influencer. Although when they asked me why I changed my mind, they got this big, long bullet point. But I'm not going to, let's just skip over that. We'll see if I'm still an influencer next year after that. But I think I made some good points. But I still will tell you, if you do have the money and if you want to take a little look at it as half of a vacation, it is a lot of fun to go and party with everybody. I'm not going to lie.
It's fun.
It was a nice break. So much fun. That's where I got to first met Hugo and Tiffany. And I would probably still go just to go party with everybody. But I've got some other projects and I want to use that money for those. And I want to go to a YouTube conference. So that's really like the biggest chunk of why I backed out. But Julie is totally right. If you can't afford it, don't trip, because we will all like the reseller. There's so many people in the reseller community. We will tell you, and the platforms themselves will tell you the main points afterwards, like directly afterwards. So
or during. They live stream a lot of that.
Yeah, they live stream a lot.
And somebody told me there's an Amazon seller conference in Seattle. And so I don't do a lot of Amazon at all. That's not my bag. But if you want to, I think that's probably the best conference to go to if you do Amazon, because Amazon's so confusing and there's so many things that you can trip up on in Amazon. So
have you done that, Hugo? Have you heard of that? I didn't know that.
I recently heard and saw some posts of people talking about choosing to go to Amazon over paying for the other ones, because I mean, all this is money for most people. Unless you already live in Seattle, it's a lot lower cost. But I've seen people say, you know, I'm not going to go to Posh, I'm not going to go to eBay because I need to put my money aside to go to. And they said, yeah, the summit for Amazon. So that's the first time I heard of it, was this last week. And again, it wasn't directly from Amazon or even anything. I just heard somebody say,
oh,
yeah.
That's interesting. So we don't know if it's sponsored by Amazon.
I think it is.
It is.
Sure,
that
it is.
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon, eBay, and Poshmark are very easy to learn. I mean, it's not brain surgery. I mean, obviously being successful isn't that easy, but to learn those platforms and what to do to not get kicked off is really pretty basic. Amazon, on the other hand, suspends sellers and gets sellers in trouble every day. You hear about people who have big businesses on Amazon that get kicked off. There's certain things you can sell. You have to get gated. Like, Amazon is so much more complicated than eBay or Poshmark or any of the Etsy. So I guess if you were going to, you know, I don't know. I would think that if you're trying to jump into Amazon, that might be an interesting thing to look at.
Kenneth told me something and I haven't followed up just yet, but I think, Kenneth, didn't you tell me there was an online Amazon university that you could take that's sponsored by Amazon? Is that true?
It's through Amazon itself. It's just a course to learn the ropes of Amazon.
And it's free, right?
It is.
Oh, that's good. Then you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm probably do that maybe sometime next year. Hey, can I back up for a minute? Dang it. Woo, how old am I? Okay, never mind. It's gone.
It will come back.
Not coming back. I thought maybe it might float back in, but nope. Dang it.
No, but related to what Julie was saying. Oh, yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah, before it's gone again, Hugo. Now let's back up on now on the eBay. If you were the type of person, okay, so like we all have strong personalities and we're go-getters and blah blah blah, right? And like we're kind of like more leaders and not followers. You know, we kind of have that little chip on our shoulder, which I think is a nice little chip. But anyways, if you're the kind of person though that really needs to absorb the excitement and the motivation and like, you know, just the fluffiness and the love and peace and joy from everybody else at like Posh Fest or eBay Open, then, you know, that's got some value to a lot of people, because you will feel the love and you will come home going, "Ooh, I'm going to crush it." Like you will, and it will stick with you for quite some time. In my opinion, it did for me. Yeah. Like I felt the eBay love for weeks and weeks. I mean, I still do, but you get what I'm saying. There is some value if you are that kind of person that just really revels in that and it gives you a boost.
Well, I'm not saying I've learned a lot at both eBay Opens that I attended in the past couple of years. And I went to an eBay convention like when I first started selling eBay Live. And not only do you get to really talk to people who are selling completely different things than you are, because we all kind of do the same type of business. And there you'll meet somebody who sells rare coins or stamps, or, you know, maybe you can get some good ideas of other things to sell or to look into. And the connections that I've made at eBay corporate have been really great. I have, you know, though anyone will give you a business card that works there. And so I have VP and C-level executive business cards that I don't email them all the time, but if something's going on that I think they need to know about, or I can't get an answer on, I've emailed them. And so the conferences aren't, you know, worthless. I think they're great, but I don't think you should feel bad if you, for whatever reason, you can't afford it or you have other things going on. Don't feel like you're going to be at a disadvantage if you can't go.
Yeah, let's reiterate that. Don't feel like you're going to be at a
disadvantage. You won't. You won't.
Excellent, Julie. I think we could move on then, right?
Kenneth didn't tell what he's doing. Smarter, did he?
Did we do that tip? Did we do that for Kenneth? Did we buy? Oh, Kenneth.
Oh. Yeah. No, we didn't, dear.
Sorry, I got caught up in
that. Here's something crazy. I'm getting a product made right now, and I was going to one source, and that was for printing and laminating. My lowest price I could find locally in Atlanta was $1.22 per sheet. And I was like, what the hell? That's outrageous. I was doing the same thing for 80 cents buying retail, printing myself and laminating myself. And it just shook my world for about a couple of days. And I was like, okay, let's break this down. Instead of going to one source, let me go ahead and get these printed from a source, then laminated from another source, and see what kind of number I can get there. I went from $1.20 something per sheet, outsourcing or piecemealing the product to 33 cents each, including taxes. Wow. I was blown away with that. Here, I'm going to take another 30 seconds, guys. You know, I've had people ask me about mailing jeans. And what a pain. They can't get them in the envelopes. They don't know what to do. I'm going to show you something that is so simple. I don't use bubble mailers. I'm saving the 45 cents. I'm sorry, guys. But you know, if you get the priority envelopes and you break out your scissors and cut it here, cut it straight down.
Oh.
Cut it there. Cut it straight down so it's more of a lip like this. You know, you can stuff a pair of 42 by 34 blue jeans in this envelope now. It makes it to where it will bend over in more of a square. And you just run a piece of tape over the top, then one around the side, and you've got your $6.35 shipping envelope.
Oh, you know what? And you didn't actually modify it.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
know some jean sellers, Lindy, that swear by saving that little pocket change by using those instead of the padded. So that's an interesting tip. She's probably like, oh, awesome. Although I don't think she sells jeans anymore, but she probably liked that. And who else? Pittsburgh Mike and Prof Sales and Karin when they were doing jeans. So yeah, I kind of want to call you out on the size 44, but hey, maybe you'll show us that sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to fit them in there fairly. I mean, Tiff, you saw in the video that we did, she folds them real tight, so that makes shipping a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I make them fit. I don't use. I used to use the bubble padded whatever flat rate, but now I make them all fit in there. It's a few cents you save, but
yeah. Well, that
I also use a lot for Posh. So for Posh, I will put our whatever item, say a pair of jeans, in a nice, pretty poly mailer, and then I put that pretty poly mailer into one of those flat rate envelopes, and then I get things out that way, just so that one, the pretty poly mailer still shows up looking pretty, and then two, Tiff used to work at the post office, specifically in the back there where they handled all the mail, and she had picked up that, especially when it really rushed, that white and their signature envelopes mean more than the regular stuff when it comes down. So when they need to definitely get out priority stuff, they keep an eye out for the white envelopes. So
because those are priority.
Yeah, and then because on their end, their system at the post office, even though we all have our random issues with them, they are constantly checking their data down to the machine of the person that is running a piece of mail. So if I'm on a machine running a bunch of mail and then I mess up, instantly, like, head directors will know I'm the one that messed up on this specific piece of mail.
Ouch.
So yeah, so when it comes down to priority, which has a very strict time frame of when it's supposed to be shipped, they pick out those white envelopes or the white boxes a lot quicker than the brown or non-labeled ones.
So if we ship something priority, but we're using a brown, like our own box, we should put a piece of that priority tape on it.
It'll stand out.
It might get to second tier importance.
Yeah, and it's just because when it comes down, especially during like the holiday season when they get a lot of shipping going through. I mean, keep in mind, they don't do it on purpose. It's just they're trying to get things done. And a lot of this stuff is they have a matter of like 4 hours to process a bunch of stuff. They're picking out real quick. They catch the stickers that you mentioned. And they do check the label, but it's just a lot. It's almost like a little safety net to use their priority stuff.
And I think that priority tape, we can have that for free, can't we?
I'm not sure, but I do. Well, we do get free little strips of stickers. So it's not exactly taped to like seal up a box, but it's a little strip that says priority mail in 3 little squares, and you can put that around a box and you're set.
Well, sometimes it's those little tiny details. So that's good for all of us to tuck in our pocket. Just that little tiny detail. Something extra we can do if we need to.
Yeah. So like for Posh, I'm not a very cute packer. My version of cute packing for Posh is literally sticking in a pretty poly mailer, make sure that it shows up looking pretty by putting in a priority envelope or box or whatever.
Yeah. But you do put it in a pretty poly mailer before you put it.
Exactly.
You kind of wrapped it.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Posh Fest, I just want to let's back up for a minute. Julie, that is in October in Arizona, right?
Yes.
Phoenix, Arizona, October 5th.
It's like the beginning of October sometime, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to throw that in there. I think that was the other thing that floated in and out. Okay, so did we cover that? Let me see where we're at here. Oh, I don't have anything interesting. Like I said, I've been kind of MIA again, setting up a new YouTube filming station and whatnot. But so I guess the only tip I can say is it is true. An active store is a happy store. And what other quotes do people say? If it's not, you can't sell it if it's not listed. Yeah. My store, I was doing I have about 200 items. You guys know I keep my store small, and selling maybe one or two, a day between Poshmark and eBay. But as soon as I said, okay, let me get through these hard goods, like I said, I listed 7 items one afternoon, one late evening, and by the time I woke up, 4 of them were sold. It was that painting. It was a Ham's beer replacement bulb for about 30. It was a Mrs. Beasley doll. Not a real old one, but mid-range, like 2000s. I think I still got 25 for that. And then one other unique item. Oh, some kind of wrestling metal stacking. I don't even know what they are, but I bought a stack of them. They were in with the cups. I'm like, these aren't cups. These are competition something. And I paid like a couple dollars, and I think I'm sorry, I can't remember, somewhere around 20 or 30. But all of those just sold overnight. So yes, I cherry picked. I did. I cherry picked my hard goods pile. No lie. But the tip is, try to list something. We've all said it before. Try to list something, even if it's just a few items a day, because that seemed to jumpstart it. Because then I started selling some clothing items that I'd had listed for quite some time. So that's my tip of the day, thing that we all already know. So excuse me while I look and see where we're at next. Diversity, the 1099 diversity report, more money. So Hugo, what's going on in your guys' other self-employed boss business side hustles? I know Tiffany's in Dallas.
Yeah. So continuing the process of finalizing to become a full-on financial aid rep, which takes a lot of time. So she's doing that right now. That's one. In terms of training clients, as summer comes around, we have more loyal customers come in or clients come in. So we're getting a little bit busier with our training. Let's see. And then we're working on our YouTube channel and social media to really build our YouTube channel. So part of that, and I've mentioned in the past, is I'm doing Spanish. So on the same channel, I'm going to be duplicating our videos in Spanish, so that everything has 2 languages. I have the ability to speak Spanish and understand it. And I've looked at the Spanish content out there for reselling, and it's some of it isn't relevant anymore, and others are it's just a different energy. So I thought, we'll bring our energy and translate it over. With that, Tiff's learning Spanish so she could be more active in it. So we're working on that, and I'm trying to connect with a few bigger Spanish reselling YouTube people, so that's also pretty cool. If it works out, I might have an interview with somebody in Colombia that sells Amazon in the United States and how they figure that out. So that's pretty cool.
That's super interesting. Yeah, I remember when you said that, I attempted that. That's so smart. It's going to be appreciated, I'm sure. I hope everyone's subscribing to your channel. You guys are just now, nurturing it. I hope everyone's subscribed. Again, everyone's social media links are down, and I put it in a comment, and they're also in the video description. Julie.
I always feel like lazy after I go after Hugo and Tiffany because they're so busy.
Right?
Other than reselling, I am a lawyer and I do consulting work, and I got 2 projects in that I need to work on this week, which means I'm going to just try to get my 5 a day listed in my fashion store. And if I can get 5 things listed a day and get those cross posted over to Poshmark, that will be a win, because I need my legal projects always take precedence over my reselling business, other than getting my shipping out, because that's a real time deadline. And I'm doing my sourcing school. It's going great. I'm getting great feedback. My students are learning and making more money and working smarter, not harder. And that's it. I'm lazy compared to Hugo and Tiffany.
You still run a household too, right?
My kids are going to be in and out for the summer. They're done with college, but they're not going to be around very much. So I'm kind of just I'm going to try to get one of them to work on my merch account. They're very hard to get to work for me, my kids.
merch t-shirts.
Amazon merch, the t-shirts. I mean,
Yeah.
That's such easy money, but I don't have time to really focus on it. And I'm going to try to get one of them to help me over the summer a little bit before he starts the summer job. But
yeah, tell him he can get residual royalties, like, you know, like if he makes some evergreen.
You think that would motivate them.
So I don't think Julie stressed this, but her sourcing school is on her Patreon, and then that is also linked below if you need that. Kenneth, I know you can't talk too much about your big project yet.
Yeah. But you know, that's something. eBay is something as well. But my new side hustle is volunteer work again. I volunteer and I mentor homeless children. Once every 2 weeks, I'm trying to set it up once a week till the end of school. And I got notice yesterday actually that I'll be able to do that now. But you know, I get more reward from giving back than the financial reward from side hustles, in all honesty. So I've convinced my daughter to join me once school is out, and I've signed up. I'll start making lunches in the morning for the children that are on lunch programs, and I think we'll be doing 500 lunches a day. And we'll be delivering those locally here in Roswell. So yeah, that's my side hustle, guys.
That's great.
Amazing.
So awesome. Amazing.
Awesome.
Yay.
You guys are great reseller friends. Seriously, you guys are great. I love all my reseller friends. You guys are motivating. Well, Q&A, let's see. Really, we're running kind of late. We started late, but we're running kind of late. So if anybody does have a question, you can drop it in the chat. But I think we'll move on to life hacks like Mojo and mantras. And then we'll say goodbye because it is Monday. I have some shipping to do. Yay. And anybody have any good words of wisdom?
I do.
You go, girl.
Okay, I had one of my reselling friends come into town and hang out with me, which is really fun because I don't really have any local reselling friends that I hang out with. And my family does not like to thrift. I'm a lone wolf reseller. And my friend Rebecca, who's Boss Lady Resale on Instagram.
Is that who it was? Yeah.
Yeah, Boss Lady. I met her through Instagram. I mean, really, I'm too old to be like online date. I've been married for 25 years, but I've never made a friend online before. And we actually kind of met online and we hung out in Vegas at eBay Open and she came down to visit. And my mom was like, she's staying with you? Like your internet friend? I was like, yeah, of course she's staying with me. But what was interesting about this was we went thrifting together and I always go by myself. And we went to a lot of thrift stores. We did some heavy duty thrifting and we both found plenty of stuff and we sell the same type of things. We sell designer clothes and we went into stores and she filled up a cart and I filled up a cart and there's probably 50 other resellers filling up a cart. So don't be intimidated if you go and you're waiting in line and you see a bunch of people and you know they're resellers or you think they're resellers. There's plenty to go around. So it was interesting to see that we were able to go thrifting together and we weren't fighting over. And, you know, and it's interesting to see what somebody else in the same store would buy and she has a successful business and she bought a lot of things that I would have never picked up. And I'm sure I bought a lot of things she would have never picked up. So it was really interesting. And so don't be intimidated by other resellers in your honey holes and things like that.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of Rebecca, I did pop in when I was making our promos. Something big just happened to her. Didn't she get featured in her local?
Oh yeah. She's been on TV twice. She last year she did a Poshmark segment on her local, and she's in DC, so it's a big market. And she's doing a thrifting class, and she put it on her Instagram, and the reporter who filmed her last year follows her on Instagram and said, oh, can we do a story on thrifting? So she did a story she was like on the morning, like the local Today Show, which is exciting for her.
Yeah, she's interesting. I've actually talked to her to possibly do a little one-off show about being a reseller, being self-employed, to help us handle when we have some kind of health issue that that requires we have flexibility in our schedule. Yeah. So, I'm a caretaker, so that's kind of where that come in. And I reached out to her because she's a good friend of yours, and I follow her definitely. And I reached out to her to ask her, and she said yes. We just haven't connected yet because I got sidetracked on something else. But again, that's her handle was Boss Lady Resale, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Rebecca.
And she has some chronic illness, so she can't. She doesn't know when she wakes up if she's having a good day or a bad day. So she's a great example of why reselling is such a great business, because she can run this business, and if she's having a bad day, she doesn't have to work. And if she's having a good day, she can work hard and be a boss. So it's interesting. And we had a great time. She's a great girl. We had a really fun time down here. And she got two suitcases full of stuff. She flew down on Southwest carry-on, and Southwest allows 2 free bags, and she used all 100 pounds of that to buy a suitcase.
That's you have to kind of plan that ahead of time. Otherwise it's going to cost you to ship home.
Right. So Southwest
on Poshmark. I don't know.
I don't know. So she had Southwest is a good way. If you're going on a reselling trip, on a thrifting trip, Southwest gives you 2 free bags up to 50 pounds. So
that's a good tip. Yeah, so I forgot to mention she deals with a chronic illness. So that's why I reached out to her, because there's a lot of shows on moms and how to juggle the kids and while you're working. I'm like, I know a lot of resellers that are doing it to supplement their income because they're on disability, they're in pain, and they really can't work a corporate 9-to-5. And so I reached out to her because she's a good influencer in the community. So hopefully we will get together and do that. Anyways, shout out to Rebecca and congratulations on that. Where are we at? Hugo, do you have any words of wisdom?
Well, to touch on what Julie said, first, we've gone thrifting with as a caravan or whatever with friends that are resellers, Thrifty Nomads in the chat, Pure Hustle Podcast, a couple other people. And like you said, we are resellers. We sell clothes, similar items, but we all come out with different things. So there really is plenty to go around as long as you take the time to learn your own market, if that's what you do. And then, but in terms of words of wisdom, I think it goes back to what we earlier talked about, which was being efficient. And you don't have to work all day. You can figure out your key things that you have to do to keep pretty much the doors open on your business, or lights on, however they say it, and get those things done. And sometimes you can get those things done in 3 concentrated hours in the morning, where you turn off your phone, or just keep your reply to text messages that aren't important 3 hours later, leave alone. Work, focus for 2-3 hours, and you can probably get done what takes you all day, because you're on all kinds of different things, from Netflix to answering text messages or whatever. So it's just being efficient with your time that way, because in about 3 hours you can get a lot done, and then you have the rest of the day to yourself, whether you have other side hustles or business or family, or the rest of the day you want to go to the park, then go watch a movie, and then go out to dinner. So I think it's all about trying to get yourself a little more focused and efficient.
I was going to say focus. I was waiting to see if you added that word focus. I think that's the key takeaway is focus. Multitasking, I think they're starting to prove that doesn't really work. So focus, because otherwise what happens? Your wife, with one eye open, accepts a lowball offer on Poshmark. So,
Yeah.
see?
Or the husband ships and doesn't realize he shipped.
Right? So yeah, focus time. You'll get more done, and then you will still have that extra little free time. I think I clocked out at 7, was it 7:30 I clocked out, and I threw up on Instagram, I'm gonna watch this old school black and white Betty Davis Joan Crawford movie. It was great. It was so great. I watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, it was fun. The old black and white classics. Sometimes, they're just perfect. Kenneth, words of wisdom? Got a life hack? Mojo?
Words of wisdom, gosh, I don't know, words of wisdom. Yeah, be more efficient, of course. And one way that I've become more efficient is creating templates. Templates tend to speed up my process. And yeah, that's about it, guys.
Well, I think we covered that pretty well. See if I got any recent Mojo. I watched Brene Brown. Yeah, Brene Brown has a special on Netflix. She's known for writing psychological, pop psychology books and some TED Talks, and they dropped one of her talks on Netflix. So I went ahead and watched it. Even though I'm older, I'm old school. I've read all these books that all the newer generation is, usurping and bouncing off of. It was still interesting. Her voice is smooth. She was funny. Her stories were quite entertaining. So if you do need something to listen to that's a little bit more motivational for just a general life hack, Brene Brown does have a special on Netflix. All right, you guys, I think that's all. I want to thank all of you guys, the panel, and all of you guys in chat, all of our reseller friends for coming. We meet for the Generation 1099 show every first Monday of the month. Hi, Tiffany. And at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, right here on my channel. In the future, I might see if these guys want to rotate it on their channels. We'll see. All right. Have a great day. Hustle as hard as you want to. Take the day off, whatever. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.